What's up everyone, this is Nalin, and today I'm going to be showing you how to segment your market in less than 5 minutes using Octave's MCP server. So recently, I was working with one of our customers, and we were trying to build an automation which produced segment-specific marketing assets at scale. And the challenge that we ran into is that they didn't have any clear segments defined, whether it was in Octave or outside of Octave. So me, being someone who doesn't work for that company, was thinking, what is the most efficient and accurate way to build segments? And my mind immediately went to MCP. What I noticed is that this customer, and this is not our customer, this is a sample workspace for Stripe, in Octave, they already had reference customers defined, as in real case studies. However, they didn't have segments defined, and that's what we really needed. So I thought, hey, if we have reference customers, that's a pretty good basis of truth for building segments, but how do I translate trends across reference customers into segments? It would take a lot of clicking and thinking and exporting, and I was like, let me just use MCP to do this. So what I did was I just said, get me all of the reference customers in Octave and put them in an artifact. So first, just calling the MCP to go and grab all the reference customers and have it available for me to play around with in Claude. All right, cool. So now that I have the reference customers in Claude, I just want to ask it to build segments for me. So what that looks like is, giving it some definition of what a segment is, telling it to group by certain things like, similar needs, motivations, attributes, standard stuff, and then telling it what I want to get as a description for each segment, because I obviously want it to be relatively rich if I want to push it back to Octave and use it in automations. So I'm going to fire this off and see how it builds some segments for me. All right, sick. So now that we got all our segments, we can just write all of this back to Octave, and our job here is pretty much done. And once it's in Octave, then we can use it for anything, right? We can use it to do like segment-specific messaging in email campaigns. We can use it for segment-specific marketing assets, or like segment-specific qualification and lead scoring criteria. So once it's in Octave, then the world's at our fingertips. And all I need to do to get it back in there now is just say, push these segments back to Octave. All right, awesome. So we've pushed all of this back to Octave, and we can confirm that by going into Octave, going to our segments, and now we see we have 4 active segments, and these were the ones that we built directly in Claude. So pretty cool. We've segmented Stripe's market in 4 ways, and this is just one of the many hacks that you can do with MCP. Basically, since it's able to connect Octave, which is an API-first tool, to all of your other data sources or execution layers or things like that, and it makes it really easy to combine insights between the two that would usually be siloed off. So let me know if you want to get set up with our MCP server, and I'm happy to get it wired in for you. Would love to see what other hacks people come up with on this. Thank you so much.